Sitting here at Universal Paints Blackheath, one of the sponsors of the channel, so big ups to them. RYNO LIEBENBERG, good man. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. Work, train. Good, I'm good.
So people wanted to know what's the next step with you, and there's an announcement that you want to make. What is that next step?
Yeah, so the next step has come. I'm fighting for the WBA INTERIM world title in Russia. It's a short notice fight. It's happening within 4 weeks. But like we all know in boxing, you can't say no to world title or wannabe world title or so-so world title, call it what you will, fights. It's a big fight for me. It's probably the biggest fight of my career, fighting for a title of that stature, overseas, headlining the bill. So when I got the opportunity, I took it open hands.
You know, you're speaking about the WBA interim title, and we were having a laugh off camera because Canelo Alvarez is the full champion, the super champion, we should say. What do you think about that?
No, look, Canelo's on a different playing field to the rest of the world, man. You can't want to fight. Everybody wants to fight Canelo. He has to want to fight you. That's where the trick comes in. He's the one that will make the decisions. And winning a title like that, it won't set up anything remotely close to that, but it will open doors. If I don't know afterwards what's going to happen. I'm not thinking past it at the moment. I'm taking this as my last fight, the biggest fight of my career, and that's how I'm treating it.
Well, you're fighting a guy called Fedor Chudinov. We've seen him recently on our televisions with Isaac Chilemba. Happy with him as the opponent?
Look, it's a tough guy. He gave Isaac a fight. I do believe Isaac won that fight quite easily. He got a draw. If you get a draw overseas, especially in a country like that, you definitely won. But Isaac and myself were cut from different cloth. So I'm going there to knock him out, and that's the plan, and that's what we're working towards.
Funny enough, and just to make a quick comparison, Isaac Chilemba actually wanted to fight you next. So what happened there?
Look, myself and Isaac, we don't have promoters. We don't. So that makes the fight hard because you need somebody to put up the fight and put up the money for the fight. I fought for free my last fight because I gave all my money to charity, which is fine. I wanted to do it. But you can't fight a guy like Isaac and not make a lot of money. So that's where the problem comes in for a fight between me and him. When I win this fight, afterwards we can have a talk and have a look, but at the moment I'm focusing on this.
So 4 weeks, are you in physical condition to get into a ring in 4 weeks' time?
I do believe so. I'm never out of shape. So my weight's already down to 79.6, so weight's good. I've never not been in good shape. I'm not in fighting shape yet, but in 4 weeks I'll definitely be in fighting shape.
Is the confidence level high? Coming off that big result?
I think it's the same. For me, it wasn't a big result. It was an expected result. It was exactly what I said was going to happen. So it was just a step towards, and it opened a few doors. What I got from the fight was a lot more than the fight itself.
When you look at BoxRec and you see all your fights locally, your record looks phenomenal in South Africa.
Yes.
It's just abroad that you have to make a correction.
Yes, and that's why this fight is so important. I still need that W overseas, and that's what I'm working towards. Just to get a win on my record, even though I've got one, I've won fights, I just didn't get the W. So now I'm fighting the last one to get that one.
Which is the last time you fought a short notice fight? So when was the last time?
I don't think I've ever had a short notice fight. I think most of my fights have been scheduled. I've always been in training, had enough time. I think my first fight with Nick Hanif, I took on 6 weeks. This fight I took on 4 weeks. It is what it is.
How long do you think they've been plotting that they're going to be fighting you for?
Maybe since after I beat Rowan and he beat Isaac, or he got a draw against Isaac. South African fighters are cheap because our currency is weak. And I think as soon as you get a good record on BoxRec, they look at you and say, listen, this is an economical fight. That's how they're seeing it. They're not seeing it as a hard fight. They're seeing it for a business proposition. And I'm going there to kill this guy.
Is there at least a good payday at the end of this
Yes.
fight?
I'm getting decent money for this fight. It's not Mickey Mouse money. It's proper money. You get paid in dollars. So it is proper money. It's not life-changing, but the money is good, yes.
Are you taking this like it's going to be your last fight? Is that the way you're going to prepare for it?
I'm treating it as my last fight. I asked my family to come with. Unfortunately, I don't know if they're going to be able to come with COVID and traveling with my kids who are in school. There's a lot of things, but maybe they're coming, maybe not. I don't know. We hope so, but otherwise we go and we fight.
Will this be the first time you've been to Russia?
Yes, first time anywhere else except Germany.
Yeah.
So yes, for boxing.
For boxing, yeah.
Yes.
And it's not going to be as cold as some of the other fights that happened previously.
Yeah,
It'll be summer.
I think it's summer now. When we're going, it's like 2 weeks of permanent sunshine. So they say it goes up to about 20. So the weather is about like this now, which isn't too bad.
Are you expecting there to be any crowds?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it. I just want to go there and bang this out. That's it.
Are you going to basically, I mean, your style's not changing at this point in your
No.
career. That's basically what's going to be.
Yeah, so it's two guys coming forward, meeting in the middle, and we're going to roll it out. He's going to want to knock me out, I want to knock him out, and whatever happens, has happened. I'll rather go out trying to knock him out than lose on points again when I should have won.
And looking at the sport of boxing, we saw Billy Joe Saunders had like this broken orbital bone against Canelo Alvarez. I mean, the dangers of the sport, it's real.
So I fought with a broken orbital bone here. It wasn't as bad as Billy Joe. So I've done it. It's a mission because you see 4 people at once in the ring. But yeah, Billy's turned out to be quite a big injury. So I hope he gets well soon.
Which fight was that happened?
When I fought Cooling for the second fight.
So that was in South Africa?
Yeah, around 7, I think it was. 7 or 8, he caught me with an uppercut right and it broke it right here.
Would you say that affected the result that day?
No, I think I was overconfident and didn't train hard enough for that fight. That affected the result.
So you're well known to, in South Africa, eat steers before your fights. What do you do when you're overseas?
So I don't like, I'm very picky when I eat anything, but I don't eat vegetables. I eat like meat and pap and rice and normal boerekoos. So when we travel overseas, I generally eat takeaways because I know how it's going to taste, like Burger King or McDonald's. Because the last time I was in Germany, I ordered a pizza, then you get a pizza, then there's no cheese, no tomato basting. It's chicken and mealies. So I'm like, yeah.
That's raw.
And so from then, I generally eat takeaways, which isn't good, but that's the food that I know and I know how it's going to taste, so that's what I try.
And usually the guy helping you out is Neil. He's always there helping you out.
He's going to be there again.
He will be. Okay.
He's my right-hand man when it comes to boxing, traveling. He's the person I look to do my stuff, and he's always done it, and we enjoy each other, and it works.
I mean, how much of a help has he been? I mean, you've had a long career, but like he's been there for all your overseas
From
trips.
start to finish. So boxing is a sport where you get by yourself in the ring. But if you don't have the backing and proper people behind you, you'll never make it. So I'm lucky enough to have Neil, not only in business, but in family and sports. So, he does everything. Everything I need, everything he sorts it out. He does absolutely everything. Makes it easy.
Yeah, I mean, that is useful. You need to have a strong support system. What's your message for the South African public that obviously going to be taking interest in your fight?
Man, support boxing. There's a lot of local fights coming up. Hakim's fighting again. If you can, go. Support boxing. That's what we need in this country. It was one of the biggest sports back in the day. It should be one of the biggest sports again because it's proper competitive when the fights are real. So all I want people to do, support boxing, support us. We love you, we roll for you, and that's it.
And then we'll get maybe close to the fight. You can send a message to the opponent. But for now, do you have a thank you or shout out for anybody?
Just my team, my family, everybody that's been behind me. I've got a few sponsors coming up, new sponsors that's behind me for this fight. One of them is Empire Cable, Universal Paints, Secutel Technology. So I've got a few good sponsors behind me. When we do our next video, I'll name all of them. So I'm lucky, I'm blessed.
All right, thank you very much, RYNO.
Shot, and power.